In any speed contest, such as this road race, time is at a premium. For example, a man can't exactly loaf when a tire has to be changed. However, there's always a good chance of making up for lost time when 1,000 or more miles remain to be covered. Sometimes it's possible to overcome a seemingly hopeless handicap. This driver built up such a tremendous lead in a race lasting well into the night that even though he had to push his car more than a mile to the pits in the last lap, it still finished second. The Indianapolis Memorial Day 500 is another story. But even here, the distance to be covered can give some leeway, can permit an opportunity to regain a sizable amount of lost ground. Not in this race, however. This is the race that's different from other big-time events because there's practically no margin for error. There's an old saying that preparation is 50% of any contest. For the Pikes Peak Hill Climb, it's a lot more than that, on a time basis alone. In some cases, preparation starts the day after one year's event ends and isn't finished until the day before the next year's event begins. This, mind you, for a race that lasts only some 15 minutes. Long before practice sessions begin, cars are worked on continually to get the utmost in performance and durability. There's no limit to the number of times an engine may be torn down, checked, adjusted, reassembled. Each part studied and tested again and again, replaced if there's the slightest doubt about it. Before checking in at the official service station designated by United States Automobile Club officials, stock car entries also have received exhaustive, painstaking preparation. At this point, the officials make sure the petroleum products used are the same stock products that are available to any car owner. And the products used must stand on their own. No special additives are permitted. To be sure of that, the inspector seals the oil intake pipe after the crankcase has been filled. The same regulations are applied to the fuel used in the stock cars. Like the engine oil, the gasoline has to be certified as the same stock product available to the motoring public at service stations. The products used in the championship class race cars also come in for careful attention. Wheel bearings, gears, suspension points, like the engine, take terrific punishment in the Pikes Peak Hill Climb. As with every other factor in this race, there's no margin for error in selecting lubricants. And throughout every step of the way, duly authorized officials of the United States Automobile Club see that all regulations and specifications are followed precisely. Another very definite and important part of pre-race preparation is the driver's meeting, which is held the day before the race. All the ground rules are explained thoroughly. Also, the position taken by the Pikes Peak Hill Climb Association, as well as the USAC on any questions that arise, is made thoroughly clear to both drivers and car owners. No, we haven't mixed the reels. It's still the same movie, and it's still Pikes Peak in July. This will give you some idea of the kind of weather to be expected near the top of the 14,000-foot mountain. And while the air gets colder and colder on the way up, car engines run hotter and hotter, a tough combination to handle. It's the morning of the 4th, and spectators pour up the highway, picking out choice spots from which to watch their favorites. and plenty of them elect to go high up into the snow country. The officials in the timing stand at the starting line are all ready. And a racer gets underway in the event for championship class cars. This is a one-at-a-time event with the cars leaving at safely spaced intervals. With less than 13 miles to go, the pressure is on right from the start to make every second count. Not long after his flying start, a driver hits the first of many curves. 152 of them, in fact, some requiring a 146-degree turn. The narrow, slippery gravel road is another driving handicap. Makes it easy to lose ground and time because of poor traction. In addition, practically every foot of this course is uphill. The average grade is 7%, but many grades exceed 10%. And in climbing nearly a full mile skyward, the temperature can drop as much as 50 degrees from the starting line to the finish. The higher you go, the thinner the air becomes too, making it more difficult for engines to breathe properly for full power acceleration. Every part of the course has its share of spectators, checking off each car that passes, and sympathizing with the drivers of cars that don't make the grade. But attention quickly shifts back again to cars still in the running, especially as they climb closer to the finish line. Unofficial reports indicate that the times are faster than last year's record-breaking climb to the clouds. All in all, 29 of the country's top racing drivers took a crack at the course in the championship class cars. The best time in this event was made by Bob Finney, 14 minutes, 11 7/10 seconds. Second was Slim Roberts, in a car owned by Dick Frenzel, who also built the winning car. Third place went to Bobby Unser. The winners of the first three places all broke the previous record. With the finish of the first event, attention switches from the racing cars to the stocks. While the race cars make slightly faster time, it is the stock car class that catches the fancy of most motorists. These cars are the very same standard models anybody may buy readily. Regulations bar the use of any specially built models. Altogether, 9 cars were entered in the stock event. 8 of the 9 finished the race, a high percentage and proof of exceptional performance by cars and drivers, as well as products used. In only one instance did an entry fail to meet this critical challenge. But what a challenge. After slowing down for turns, the engines have to deliver maximum power, instantly available to full throttle advance. Avoiding power loss from spark plug misfiring and vapor lock means saving seconds in this race where every second is precious. This in spite of the fact that prevailing conditions are highly conducive to causing trouble. The cycle of throttling down engines, then gunning them wide open up to 7,000 RPMs, is repeated at each of the course's 152 curves. First place goes to Jerry Unser with a time of 15 minutes, 39 2/10 seconds. Second, and less than 10 seconds slower, is Nick Sanborn. And third place goes to Herb Bryers. Once again, preparation has paid off in getting a car into top condition, in selecting the right products for peak protection and performance, in driving the race. Nobody realizes this better than Jerry Unser, stock car winner on the right, and Bob Finney, race car winner on the left. Together with their owner mechanic teammates, they earn the highest of all awards in this tough, exacting Pikes Peak Hill Climb that allows no margin for error.